Fáilte Over Cláudia, you're welcome indeed to another edition of The Irish at Home and Abroad. Now, don't forget later on the programme, we'll be crossing over once again to join Martin Logan, who's out and about with the Irish community in the UK. But this week we're coming to you from the Claremorris Open Exhibition, which is celebrating its 40th anniversary by exhibiting works of art by national and international artists. We'll also be taking a trip to Ballina to find out more about the North Mayo Eden nomination as one of the best tourist destinations in Ireland.
You're all very welcome, needless to say, to this, the 40th Claremorris Open Exhibition. And I want to especially welcome Tom Morton, who selected the show. Tom is a contributing editor to Frieze, a well-known curator in the London and international circles.
Tom, this is your second time here in Claremorris now for the Arts Festival.
It is indeed. I'm delighted to be invited back. Previously selected the artist for the Open at Claremorris in 2009, back here in 2017 for the 40th anniversary. So that feels a real honour. It's wonderful to engage with applications from artists from the west of Ireland, from all over Ireland, from all over the world in fact. So really, really excited to be here.
And what are you looking for when you're adjudicating in the arts?
I'm not looking for just one thing. I think I'm looking for a certain provocation, a certain intensity, complicated types of pleasure, beauty sometimes something that will make me laugh or feel deeply, or have an innovative response to certain formal questions. So really, in the end, I'm looking for talent.
Has anything stood out with you now that in your adjudication? Does anything give you that wow factor? You say, wow, this is something.
I wouldn't have picked any of the work if there wasn't a wow factor of a different sort in each one. There are wonderful videos which look at the history of archaeology in cinema. There's some great stuff here.
Johnny, you've been involved with the Claremorris exhibition right from the beginning.
Right from the beginning, the founder member, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, 40 years ago.
40 years is right, a long time.
Yeah. And how has it changed over the years?
Well, I suppose it was much of a muchness from 1978 until the mid-90s. And we always had problems with the Arts Council getting funding. And for instance, like we used to have it in the college, that was looked upon as being too far from the town. Then we brought it into town. Then the venues, it was here in the town hall for a while, the venues decided it wasn't appropriate. We had a guy come down from Dublin, he did a strategic review of the whole thing. So we came up then with the idea of bringing it around the town to different venues. So that we opened it up from what was basically paintings and sculptures to prints and all that stuff, to installation, videos and outdoor art.
What's your role in all of this, Lisa?
I'm the overall project coordinator for CO this year. So I've been working since we put out the call for applications in February, straight through our adjudication process, the selection process, the installation, the building of the galleries, the lighting, everything. I've been involved on the ground since, like I said, February. We are in the Town Hall Gallery, which is one of 8 galleries for the Claremorris Open Exhibition this year. And in this gallery, we have 8 of the 26 artists who were selected out of a pool of about 180 applicants.
And what kind of exhibition? Is it all paintings here?
No, the Claremorris Open Exhibition, because it's an open exhibition, takes in applications for all art forms. So this year we have paintings, lithographs, prints, video, sculpture, installation, sound, performance. So we really are hitting on, and photography, we're hitting on everything this year.
So there's 4 overall prize winners, isn't there, out of the 26?
Out of the 26, we have 4 overall prize winners. One of those is here, and that's Leslie Ann O'Connell, and it's a series of 3 abstract paintings. So she won the painting prize, and that's just on the wall behind us here.
You mentioned a lovely story at the launch about a pick-up point in Dublin.
I didn't indeed, but we used to pick up at the Graphic Studio. Graphic Studio was, actually, don't know, it was down not too far, I think, from the docks. But anyway, we used to go up on a Saturday morning at about, to be there for 12. And 3 hours was given, and we closed at 3 and came home. But we always did a half hour extra because, of course, the artists weren't great timekeepers. And you'd have the odd fellas coming along. But we were coming out this day about a couple of 100 yards from the Graphic Studio. And we met this fellow with a big, about 6 by 10 painting in his back. And we let on the window and said, "Where are you going?" "I'm going to Claremorris," he said. We said, "Good luck." He had a long walk with his painting, but anyhow, we took it off him. And of course, when we got out and were loading it, he said, "Oh, be careful of that now, it's still wet." Oh, trying to show you the kind of, we've had a lot of things like that.
In this gallery, we have 4 different artists. We have 2 videos, including one of our prize winners by Laura Fitzgerald, which is this fabulous look at the creative process, and one of her videos, P45, which is a speeded up inner monologue of an artist who's sort of finding her way through the world. We also have paintings by Mary Ronin, which are really interesting enamels on board, which we wouldn't see very often, based on Emer McBride's novel, The Lesser Bohemians, and then abstract art by Elizabeth Archibald, and then Susan McWilliams' video taking place inside a paranormal library.
How are you faring out financially now with the exhibition the last number of years?
Not well at all. We're just grabbing along, only for the help of our sponsors and our patrons and Mayo County Council. We wouldn't be here. And the Arts Council hadn't funded us now for 3 years, so that's a huge problem for us. When the recession hit, their funding was cut by something like 20 million. So they'd cut out umpteen festivals. They concentrated on the places and probably the big venues, and these are all more or less urban.
What's interesting about this exhibition here is everything is black and white.
Everything is black and white, although there is a touch of colour of bright red in the video installation. And this was sort of by purposeful design. I had a little hand in selecting the work that went in here. I've always wanted to see a monochrome gallery. Martin Pointer, he's one of the prize winners, and his installation of oil painting. It's called Oil Painting, which is sort of a unique title because there's no real painting, flat painting involved. What we have are sculpture, installation, video, almost everything except for a flat oil painting. But this is actually made from oil paint that's been turned into a sculpture. So it gives us sort of an interesting maybe play on art and how it evolved over the years.
In Ballyhonus Community School, and I've been coming to Claremorris Open for about 11 years, bringing groups of students. I've found it been a fantastic way to introduce students to contemporary art, as we don't get much opportunities in the west of Ireland. We do visit the National Gallery, but other than the National Gallery, we come to Claremorris Open every year, and it gives students the chance to just look at what modern art is and their understanding of art. It questions what art is. They come with this preconceived idea that art is a painting, whereas when they leave, they have an idea that art can be so much more.
So our other prize winner, our 4th prize winner, is Sarah Duffy. She's a UK-based artist, and her piece was a performance, and it was only on the night of the opening, and it's called Strong Room, and it's her spoken word performance of the events that led up to the coining of the term Stockholm Syndrome. It's a very dramatic video that starts with her standing in front of the audience with Elvis projected on her face, and eventually expands until it's filling the wall behind her, and from there she goes on and tells the story of Stockholm Syndrome.
No longer content with the precarious nature of their position on the bank floor, Olsen moved his party to the bank's strong room, a carpeted vault, long and uncomfortably narrow, lined with 600 safety deposit boxes. Elizabeth, who suffered from claustrophobia, was given a brief respite from the cell.
You've been 40 years involved now. Where do you see the future of the Claremorris exhibition going forward?
Since I got involved in the arts, things have changed. We've had video, we've had, as different ways of expressing yourself become available. So visual art has changed. So I don't know what's going to happen in the future with visual art, but definitely it will change, and we know that. But there will always be painting, there will always be sculptures and good paintings and video. But what's going to happen besides, I don't know. It is important that I think that this exhibition would keep going, because it is bringing art to Mayo and indeed to the west of Ireland that you won't find any other way.
Paul Gerash, you're very welcome back to part 2 of the programme, where we're heading to Ballina now to find out more about the North Mayo Eden nomination as one of the country's top tourist destinations.
So today we have the adjudication for the Eden designation application. North Mayo put in an application for what's called the Céide Coast. It covers the coastal area from Ballycastle all the way into Ballina. It was the first year that an application had come from this area, and we're delighted to say that we were shortlisted in the final 3. So that means that today the adjudicators from the award are here looking around. They'll have spent the day in North Mayo, seeing things in Ballycastle, Céide, John Patrick Head, through Killala, monasteries on the Moy, and all the way into Ballina, where they will visit the Jackie Clark collection and finally come here for what's called the Ballina Expo part of the day.
Competition, or the European Destinations of Excellence Award, and it's an award that's given out to destinations who excel in particular themes, and it's an EU award, so it's quite prestigious. It's almost like a quality mark for destinations. So if you've achieved an Eden Award, you've been recognised as delivering a very high standard in your tourism product. So for us this year, the theme is tangible cultural tourism, which is focusing on our built heritage throughout the ages. So in Mayo North, obviously, along the Céide Coast, we have just this wealth of heritage from the oldest farmers 6,000 years ago right up to the modern day, to the building we're in now, which is Ballina Arts Centre. Spanning the ages, we have monasteries, we have ecclesiastical ruins, we have tombs, we have castles, we have it, you name it, we have it. So we were delighted to be shortlisted for the award this year. We've reached the final 3, and today is our adjudication process. So we've just brought the judges on a tour of the Céide Coast from Belderrick back into Ballina and shown them all that we have to offer here.
I started Walk West Island because I have a great passion for the outdoors. I want to introduce other people to enjoy what I enjoy, to see what I see. You bond with nature, the mountains are spectacular, and just the open air life is fantastic.
You lived in London?
I had a business there and it was going really well, but I just thought there's more to life than making money all the time. And I had a young family, I had 6 children and a wife, and decided that enough was enough, and basically we'll start a new life.
Yeah.
Moved to Mayo knowing nobody, and now we know everybody.
So what's the most popular walk you do?
Carrotide on the North Mayo coast would definitely be the most stunning, all the way up to Benwee Head. And when people think about walking, they think, oh my God, I'll be walking for 20 miles or something, I had blisters on my feet. It's a very shallow walk, a very soft walk up a hill, You do engage with cliffs and wildlife, but there's nothing dangerous about it, and there's nothing strenuous at all. If I can do it at 57, anyone can do it.
Donna, what is the volunteer centre? What do you do?
Well, our role in the community is to try and match people who are interested in volunteering with community groups that need volunteers. So we do things like go out and do outreach events, we have a website that we advertise volunteering opportunities, and we try and encourage more people to volunteer, and it's really about matching people's interests with a group that needs them. So it's a whole range of things.
Now, these judges are coming here this afternoon. How will you impress them?
Well, I think what we really need to let them know is that everything that happens in this area is really dependent on volunteers, and there's a massive community spirit in this area. And without the volunteers that are, looking after the environment, the amenities, they probably wouldn't be as impressed as they hopefully will be once they actually go and see all the places.
And finally, if North Mayo was to win this award, what do you think it'll mean for the area?
Well, as well as bringing more visitors to the area, I think it'll be a real boost for all the community organisations involved. It'll be a real validation that the work that they've been putting into looking after their areas and all the charities that look after their community, it'll be just a boost and kind of encouraging for them that they were doing valuable work, and it's been recognised outside of this particular area as well, that there's some overseas recognition as well.
Edel, why are you here?
So I'm the general manager in the Ballinamannor Hotel here in the centre of town, and I suppose I'm here just to support the local community as they support us here in the hotel, and to emphasise the benefit that the Wild Atlantic Way has had on tourism to the west coast of Ireland. We're so lucky to have it, being that it's highlighted to the rest of the world what we have, our beautiful coastline and what we have to offer.
And is tourism now, is it an all-year-round business now, or is it still very seasonal, do you think?
I suppose with the Wild Atlantic Way, we've seen the season grow either side. It's not weather dependent anymore, because the coastline is equally as beautiful when it's rain and rugged as it is when the sun is shining. So you get the best of both worlds. So we have seen the season lengthen either side, which is fantastic for the community all around.
What brings me here today is I own a very nice boutique bed and breakfast, and I have everything is homemade, of course, naturally, all my jams, chutneys, breads, whatever, and I have a 15-choice breakfast menu, and when the guests come, of course, they're invited into the house for a cup of tea. What's in the tin? So today we're very lucky. You see the colours I have, red and green. I have blackberry and apple crumble muffins and some lemon cakes. So when everyone comes in, they're invited in for a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, a glass of wine maybe if it's going, to make them really, really welcome. And of course, Rachel organises a lot of different events as well through Rachel's Irish Adventures. And what she organises with some of it is her whisky tasting. She organises that in the house for courses, for groups, for people as well. And also she organises some cookery lessons in the house for guests. So when guests come, they can pre-arrange and pre-book beforehand, or when they come into the kitchen, they say, I love that brown bread, I'd love to know how to make it. I take them into my kitchen and show them how to make the brown bread.
You find a lot of visitors coming to this part of the world want to taste local artisan foods.
All the time. They want the culture, the Irish music, the Irish dancing, the salmon, of course, and the Guinness and the Irish stew. Everybody is looking for it. They want a restaurant, and of course we have no problem recommending any place around the area.
And did they give you any indication as how the tour is going, how the judging is going?
Well,
nobody jumped off the bus, so that's good. No, as you'd expect, the judges are kind of playing their cards quite close to the chest. They still have another destination to visit, so we just have to wait and see how we get on. But for us, just to be shortlisted on our first entry into the award is really, really significant for the region. And already it's an acknowledgement that they feel that what we have to offer here is worth communicating to a wider audience, and that's what's really important to us. It's about getting the word out about North Mayo and getting the word about County Mayo in general, about the wealth of offering we have here for visitors coming in from abroad, from the UK, from the States, from further afield, and showing them what we have and getting them to experience it.
And what would it mean for North Mayo to win this prestigious award?
It would be a game changer for us, Henry. Mulranny won this award a couple of years ago, the Greenway, the Great Western Greenway, and it's just a catalyst for development. It enthuses people locally when you win an award. It's so significant. It's a real indicator of pride in your place.
Well, it's almost time for us to go. Thank you for your company. And before we leave here, we're going to have some great music from one of Ballina's top groups, Flat Out. Here they are to perform Turn Out the Lights. So until next week, slán go fóill.
Are we really who we used to be? Did we change without realizing? I'm not the person that I used to be. Look in the mirror, but it isn't me. Do we laugh like we used to do? Predict the future before it came true. Time's moving on, leaves fall from the trees. Yes, we're older, but wiser we could be. Take me back to a place that I call home. How do I know this is right? I guess we don't till we turn out the light. We don't till we turn out the light. Who's the author to all of my pain? Point to mouth, but it's me again. We're fully grown, but where have we been? Try to remember where it all began. So hold my hand, don't let go. Take me back to a place that I call home. How do I know this is right? We don't till we turn out the light. You held my hand and I let go. Took me back to a place that I call home.